Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, I intended to go live yesterday with the new hire, Trumain Carroll from Kansas State, the strength and conditioning coach. However, I was lost in the sauce, and we want to talk about it today. We want to give you our opinion, give you our thoughts on it, what we think, and is this an upgrade? Somebody asked me a question yesterday. They said, Jay, is this an upgrade or is it a good hire? I think it could be both. I want to answer those questions real quick. I think that, of course, it's a good hire, just given the fact that his history, his experience, the path that he's taken, and then he's coached over 17 different sports while at SMU. And so we'll talk about all that stuff because he didn't just focus primarily on football when he was at SMU. He focused on sports as a whole. And so just given the fact that he has that type of knowledge, that type of experience, and be able to tailor make, I think, guys' performance package, if you will, I think this guy is a good hire. I think he's an excellent hire. And we'll talk about that. And most of all, when we talk about this coaching staff, when we talk about this administration as a whole, we got to understand this, is that USC is making power moves, and I trust them to make the power moves and continue to make them on every level. Yes, some guys are going to be bittersweet. I mean, even with guys like Roy Manning, when they got out of here, it was bittersweet because you get attached to certain guys. I like the personality of guys like Roy Manning, but at the end of the day, would I trade Eric Henderson? Would I trade Sean Newell? Would I trade Deanton Lynn? Would I trade any of these coaches for anybody that we have now? Absolutely not. It's the same way with Benny Wiley. It was bittersweet. Absolutely love what Benny Wiley did. He showed performance. He showed progress. And at the same time, there was room for improvement. There was room for upgrade. And I think that's what we're seeing now with this coach right here. Benny Wiley did a phenomenal job. You can't take anything that Benny Wiley has done away because what he did, he set the standard. He set the stage for some of these guys. We saw the before and after pictures, as I stated before. But now we're seeing the guy here in Carroll, who's he's going to add more fuel to the fire. And I think he's going to increase our guys to be better football players as a whole and improve while gaining weight. We've even heard things like this season. Let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it back and think about, I remember some guys said Zach Branch gained some weight, but he didn't look as explosive. Well, I think we got a guy that helped us get there. He helped us, maximize some of our potential, but not all of our potential. And as a result, guys weren't peaking to the level that they wanted them to peak at. And so I think that's the room for improvement. And so when you look at this guy, all right, so when you look at Coach Carroll, man, he's literally, when you're talking about, he's added just this past January to April, he's added over 700 pounds of muscle to the current players at Kansas State. He's also, it was 4 players timed over 23 miles an hour, 6 players over 22 miles an hour, 33 players over 21 miles an hour. He had 27 players back squatted over 500 pounds. That's crazy. 27 players who back squatted over 500 pounds. 35 players clean over 300 pounds. 60 players bench press over 300 pounds. And so you're talking about he's bringing in instant results right now when you talk about coming over to USC. We're talking about a coach that's really going to grab the bull by the horns and absolutely move and groove as it relates to director of performance at USC, formerly at Kansas State. Now, let's get into who he is as a person. We talked about some of the results, and I think that these are some of the things that we can see and expect from this new coach, Coach Carroll. So Coach Carroll, he was a coach that helped Kansas State to 3 bowl victories. He also oversaw the 2022 Big 12 championship win, thriller overtime victory over TCU. You guys remember that? That's when TCU was kind of like the up-and-coming team, even though they went to the college football playoffs. That was the team, and I specifically remember talking about them. They had a decent quarterback. I can't remember his name, but Kansas State had a phenomenal team, strength and conditioning-wise. They just had some physical players. You could tell the physicality of that team, but Carroll wasn't just their director of strength and conditioning. He did oversee a whole cultural overhaul as well as the team, things within the team. And so, look, man, I think USC is absolutely getting a great coach, a coach that knows the culture, knows how to adapt and know how to establish a culture. And I think we're getting one that's going to absolutely put place emphasis on being physical. That's what we need as a team. We need to be a very physical team, a team that knows how to get after it. All right, in terms of his education, Coach received his bachelor's degree in administration and graduated in 2005, and later got his collegiate strength and conditioning certification in 2007. Also, his weightlifting sports and performance certification in February of 2008, and he earned his master's in strength and conditioning in 2008 as well. And so, look, we got a guy that's very established, well put together, and one that's going to come and move and groove with this USC football program. All right, so hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think about him, man. Salute and welcome Coach Trumain Carroll to the USC Football Trojans, Director of Strength and Conditioning Program at USC. I think USC got themselves a good one. Hit me in the comments. You guys drop the comments. Tell me what you think. Is this a good hire or is this an upgrade? Or is it both? I think it's both. Hit me in the comments. You guys tell me what you think. Fight on, fight on, fight on.